All right,
Cool.
We're starting it. Here comes. Here comes. Here comes. Here comes.
Here the gums.
Here are
Over
my
the
gums.
teeth and watch out. Here it comes.
Here it comes. It begins in. Let's see. Record. Yeah, it's recording. Okay, here we go. It starts in 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, Bill and Ted are back.
Robocalls happen to everyone.
Brian might want more fries with that.
Put it right in my veins.
There's a lot of printer ink.
Therapy Thursday and more on this episode of The Morning Stream.
Malox Plus gives you 1, relief of excess acid and heartburn, and 2, relief of painful gas.
No lotion like intensive care has that.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen. This is the Morning Stream.
Whoa, where's the thing? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It's the Morning Stream for Thursday, March 21st, 2019. I'm Scott Johnson with Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian Ibbett.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm fine. It's another Thursday, and we're here. We got it going. Everyone's wet and ready to go. That sounds bad. Why am I saying that?
Wow.
Didn't mean that at all.
Happy Thursday to you.
We're back at it. We got stuff to talk about. We got Wendy here later. Got a full show. I'm very tired. I think the rain's making me grouchy, and it's a good thing to have the show in the morning because I don't have to dwell on rainy, awful rain, which we were going to have for like 5 days.
So are we, but we haven't gotten ours. But it's coming. The weather person says rain coming. Not today though.
Yeah.
10% chance. Not even that. Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow.
10%. That's low.
Over the weekend or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no chance to. Very little chance to. It ain't happening.
It ain't happening. No rain
It ain't
for you.
happening today.
No rain for you. But
this weekend, yes.
I'm fine with it because it's March and April will have a lot of rain, and that's cool. What's the old phrase? April showers bring May flowers.
That's what they're supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't wait to meet this May flowers and see what she's like. I've been hearing a lot of good things about her.
Flowers bring pilgrims.
But
no,
yeah.
My favorite thing is the first rain of spring that washes away all that crap and sand and garbage and all the detritus that the snow left behind. All that crud and crap and sand and all that stuff on the side.
Yeah. Do you guys do sand or salt for your winter roads?
They do. They do mag chloride. That's the big thing.
Oh, right. That's different.
Yeah.
I think we do that too now. And it's supposed to be less harsh on cars and the undercarriage of people's cars and stuff like that because salt used to just rip
salt
through your car.
road.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, we're all here. It's wet. That's the reason I brought up the wet thing, by the way. It's because of the rain. I was trying to make a connection
Just
to the rain.
Just like the morning stream has nothing to do with pee. Right, Scott, right.
Exactly. People still don't believe me on that.
I know. I believe you.
Yeah.
Does that count?
It was just a lucky second meaning. That's all. Anyway, hey, did you see the Bill and Ted announcement yesterday?
I watched it this morning when I saw that it was in the in our notes. I thought, all right, I better watch this thing.
So, what do you think of that? I'm part of me's I wish it was a little more official and less I'm on my camera and I'm gonna take a quick video kind of thing.
It does feel like an impromptu Kickstarter video, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like so with your help, we're going to finally be able to bring the third installment of our great story of Bill and Ted to you, the fans.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wish it was more in character like that. Because I feel like Keanu Reeves was kind of channeling it. He was sort of channeling Ted. But
there was a little bit of the whole, the
the way he was moving. And he kept doing this the whole time. And I'm thinking, oh, he's into it. But the other guy, I always forget his name. Whatever his name is. Alex Winter is just yes, we're very excited to finally bring this film to the... And I'm like, you're not Bill. What are you doing? This isn't how Bill would act.
Yeah, he's... he hasn't had the post Bill and Ted success that Keanu has had. The polish, the John Wick, the Matrix stuff. It's basically Alex Winter says, hey, I did this, and I did Lost Boys. What else did he do?
Well,
Anything?
he directs. He's a big, huge director guy, behind the scenes guy now. Yeah,
All right,
lots of directing, lots of producing, and and stuff like that. But you're right, he didn't go on to be the big screen face like
Keanu did,
like Keanu Reeves did. So anyway, yeah, he makes documentaries or something. He does a bunch of stuff. But here's the thing.
Neither of them look terribly happy about it. Like if you I froze frame on just a random spot in the video, and they're both just kind of like, making this expression like, yeah, we know this is likely to suck, and we know, we've Face the Music has a release date of August 21st, 2020, and picks up with the best friends, now middle-aged, as they meet a visitor from the future, warns them only their song can save life as we know it and bring harmony to the universe. It will also feature the duo's kids, as Reeves explained recently.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I don't like. I don't like son of stupid,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't work out very much. Even when they tried to make Rusty the focus of that Vacation sequel, and the newer one, it just doesn't work. Don't do that. Like, you're pulling away from the formula. So you got to have Bill, you got to have Ted. They have to still be stupid. They'll be older, but they got to be kind of dumb and still kind of easily swayed into their rock and roll headbanging, childhood, and have them be the thing. Don't have your kids. It's your kids, Marty. Don't do that.
I know. That's you can almost write it just by reading this description. It's like, hold on, I've got to go pick up the kids from soccer practice, and then we can go rock out in our garage. I guess I threw a little bit of Wayne's World in there too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mixed the two, but that's okay because they're very derivative of each other, so it's fine.
Yeah,
totally
exactly.
fine. Anyway, I don't know what to think about it. I just felt like that. I mean, usually when you see these sort of announcements, it's either a little teaser trailer, or it's those guys sitting in like cool director-looking chairs in some studio somewhere with a backdrop to make the announcement or something. Instead, they're just like loitering around the Hollywood Bowl.
Exactly. We've only got 2 minutes till the guards kick us out, but we wanted to tell you.
Yeah, hurry up, Bill.
So yeah, compare it to the Reitman teaser for the new Ghostbusters movie, right? Like, this mysterious zooming in on this shed at night, lightning going off, and the cover kind of pulls back and you see the Ecto-1. Yeah. They could have done that with a phone booth with this one, like, done something very similar, and I'd be a lot more excited about it than I am now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it just could have used a little bit of that treatment. Other than that, I'm ready for a Bill and Ted movie and genuinely excited about it. Like, I think I'm more excited than they are. By the looks of their faces.
Well, judging by the expressions on their faces, it'd be hard not to be more excited than they are.
Right. And I don't expect, I'm not expecting any kind of Oscar-worthy performances. I'm not expecting this movie to take the world over, but I am expecting to have a nice big jolt of nostalgia for my love of those early movies. By the way, I've seen the first one recently, and I don't think it holds up. It's not great. Yeah. 2's all right, though. I think 2 actually holds up.
Really? 2 is the weaker of the two. Like,
I don't know. I feel like it might be the better of the two. Maybe it's because time's passed, or maybe it's because that dude's in it that plays the Reaper.
Death?
Yeah, what's his name? I love that actor. Anyway, Shawshank Redemption, and freaking, he was the bad guy in the second Die Hard movie. I can't think of his name.
Sadler.
William
Sadler.
William Sadler. That guy's awesome.
Actually, yes.
That guy's awesome. So anyway, there's something about that second one that works for me more than the first one ever did. And so
remind me, we did that one for Film Suck already, didn't we?
I think we did. Didn't we say no to it? I can't remember.
No, I think we did do Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Did we do Bogus Journey? Here, I can tell you.
I
have the RSS feed. Let's see. Bill and Ted. Wait, Film Sack. Here we go. We did. Let's see. Whoops. Hold on. Bill and. No, we did not, sir.
Oh. Jackalope Ashley says you absolutely did not.
No. Yeah, she'd know. But we also didn't do the first one either, so we've done no Bill and Ted's.
No, and I would think if we were going to do any of them, I would say the better one would be Bogus Journey, because I think that one, for me, there's more question on if the second one holds up, and I feel like the second one felt at the time like a weaker cash grab after the first one. So
It might have. You know what? The William Sadler part's probably the main reason it was good for me.
yeah, because remember they had the evil robot versions of.
Oh yeah. Wait, that was in 2 or 1? That was in 2. Right?
That was in 2. Yeah, the one is all about the Joan Van Ark and
Yeah.
Miss of Ark, not Joan Van Ark, Miss of Ark. I knew they got Joan of Arc's name wrong, but I was trying to remember how they got it wrong.
Yeah, those
And,
robots were bad. Now they say.
Socrates and Napoleon and all that.
Socrates.
Socrates.
So what about what about the did I can't think of his name. Who's the comedian that was in it the first one? The kind of like
George Carlin.
George Carlin. Did he do 2 or he was? I don't remember.
He was
if
in 2. Yeah, he was in the second one.
Now I've got it all conflated, so maybe I just need to see him again.
Station. Oh my God, yes, the Voltron robot that. Oh no, was it a Voltron? I mean, it was a robot that little robots combined to make, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
Station.
Station it was called?
Station.
Clearly I don't remember near enough here. Killimarock says
No,
Station was a Martian.
You're remembering the fondness of William Sadler, and really there's
And nothing else.
It's just 2 aliens. Okay, 2 Martians that joined became one,
Okay.
and made Station.
Let's see. I'm looking.
Oh, they look like Hoggle from.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh. No good. It's not good. I mean,
Nope.
I what's probably going to end up being true here is none of this is good, and we're excited about nothing. You know what I mean? Like it might be just we got way too much nostalgia tied up in what Bill and Ted would be or could be, and really we've just forgotten how terrible it is. Oh, look!
Enjoy that photo of the cast of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey 2 with the they're princesses who can't play. I guess at the very end of the movie, somehow they're finally able to play. By the way, I love that comparison of Snooki from Jersey Shore, and
It's just in a random image search. I'm like, why is that in there? I'm like, oh, they think they look like each other. I see.
look, their noses look like scrotes too.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. And there's William Sadler in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one you were talking about.
Robot Bill and Ted, and
Let's take a look at this in full glory. Okay, so you got Bill, there's Ted, there's Lady, and other Lady. Oh, those robots sucked. Okay, maybe 2 is worse than I think it is. I don't know.
yeah.
I think Sadler just made it better, and I've fixated on him being the reason it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is the, and it is streaming right now on Prime Video, Amazon Prime. We could slip right from Dark Crystal into Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Oof. I wonder how the boys would feel about it. We should maybe we'll float that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
send in
float the
we'll send in a floater.
Send up a balloon and see if it
Yep.
floats.
We'll see what happens. Look what we got here. See this bowl? See this spoon? They make this sound when you go. See?
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
Brian held up a box. This is the same box I have. This is
Yes.
Honey Brunches of Oats.
Yes.
Chicken and
Not a
waffles
typo.
cereal. No, it's not a typo. It's on purpose. It's not a typo.
It's a breakfast cereal that tastes like chicken. How could anything go wrong
No,
with that?
I'm sure this will be 100% fine. I'm looking at the back. This is to celebrate National Cereal Day.
Oh, really?
It says they want you to post a photo of your chicken and waffle cereal with honey brunches of oats and show
Oh, my
everyone
God.
how you enjoy this limited edition cereal on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Oh, this smells amazing.
Yeah. Oh, does it? Dude, don't huff it
I
in.
just
You're
wanna-
freaking me out.
I just wanna stick my whole head in there.
No expectation for this. I don't have any idea what to expect.
Here's a little drumstick piece of
Oh.
Cereal right here. It's a drumstick.
Oh, it smells like a kid at the sleepover in the onesie.
It's a drumstick.
Oh, this is so bad. All right. It does look like dog food. It's like your Chex Mix got mixed with my dog food. All right, we're gonna pour it in the bowls. We're doing a little taste test this morning. Oh, we should give credit. Where's the?
Oh yeah, shoot.
Oh, crap. Who sent us this? I have it
I'll tell
upstairs.
you deal with your bowl. I'll get the.
All right, I'll deal with my bowl. Here we go. All right, we got a decent amount in here. These look like your average, I don't know, kibble.
It does. Dean. Big thanks to Dean
Kane.
Pennewitt.
Oh, great. Better than Kane.
Dean Pennewitt. Much better than Kane.
I keep hearing Dean Kane's kind of a jerk right now. I keep hearing that.
Oh, no, right now.
Yeah. Was he always a jerk? I don't know.
I don't know. I just like something changed in the mid 2000s. All right, here we go.
I don't know. It sounds like something changed in 2016, if you know what I mean. All right, here we go. Pouring this in. Here, let's look. Oh, did you already take a bite?
No,
I'm doing like the commercial. Part of this nutritious breakfast.
Not spilled the milk, but the milk dripped off the edge of the glass. And so
Brian, don't cry over spilt milk, okay?
it's not even spill. It's like I poured the milk, a little droplet went down the side. I don't want to put that on my desk, so I grabbed a little paper towel.
Yeah.
Oh, look at yours is way more official with that whole like pouring.
Oh yeah, it's got like a spout.
You're
and
pouring
everything.
paraphernalia.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's my wife's idea.
Oh, the people who love listening to us eat food are gonna love this.
Yeah. Here goes.
All right.
Let's give it a shot. I'm trying to get every piece of chicken looking thing and regular waffle thing in here.
Whoop.
Do you taste any chicken?
I don't taste any chicken. I taste maple. A lot of maple.
Oh,
But no.
I
Did you
got
get some chicken.
I got a hint of chicken. Keep going. Try another piece of chicken. You'll get a little bit of an aftertasty chicken in there. Ooh, weird.
Oh yeah.
That's weird.
It's not bad though.
No. You know what?
It's,
It's not bad.
It goes with the salt, like it's salt and maple and.
It's weird because the initial hit is all maple. But if you just let your tongue think for a while, and it goes kind of chickeny. Oh, weird! I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah, this is great radio, by the way. People love listening to us eat.
Oh yeah, that's good. I would eat that on occasion. I'm
Yeah, for
surprised. I'm legit surprised. I thought I was gonna hate everything about this. That isn't bad.
No, I was expecting it to be like have more of a salt,
Yeah.
like a salty chicken kind of flavor.
Like an April 1st kind of jokey kind of flavor that you're like, they'll never make this again. Ha ha ha. It's funny though, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like that. It's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. All right,
It's
the
not-
leftover milk.
Yeah, I'm sticking over here. I'm gonna finish that later.
Because
maybe.
otherwise, that milk will go bad.
Yeah, it will, right? You don't want to waste.
No, heck no.
Brian's all about preserving the holy nectar of the teat.
Are you, by the way, when you get one of these situations, right, open
Yeah.
bag,
Yeah.
are you okay, I'm going to fold the bag inside the box?
Nope.
Like,
Nope. I just do this.
yep, that's what I do. Tina's a roll the bag up and then put it in the bottom of the box so stuff doesn't get spilled.
I figure it's just gonna get opened up again, and who cares? And I've never noticed cereal to be, this is.
Oh, this tastes like it was exposed to the elements for an extra day.
The caustic
Oh my God, it's
environment.
ruined, I tell you.
The air in this kitchen has destroyed it.
Speaking of Tina, so we ordered our tickets to go see Us.
Us. Oh, the movie.
The Jordan Peele movie coming
Yeah.
out tomorrow. Not This Is Us, Scott.
No.
Just Us.
Yeah.
Not the Peter Gabriel album, Us,
No.
but the movie Us.
Not the shortening for the United States.
Not that either. Yes.
No.
So we are seeing it tomorrow night, and but with this, with the AMC A list, it's like Plus, we want to reserve our seats and get decent seats and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we wait till tomorrow, it will be basically front row, or we're going to see What Men Want or something like that, or some dumb thing that we don't want to see.
What men want.
But this is what it is with us and the AMC app, is that we each have our own AMC A-list account. You can't have two AMC A-list accounts on one phone.
Right.
Or you'd have to log out and log back in with the other account. But you can't say, all right, I'm getting this seat for me, this seat for my wife, boom, we're done.
Right.
We actually have to be standing next to each other. Okay, all right, I'm choosing the Westminster Promenade. Okay, all right, good. All right, choosing tomorrow, 22nd. Okay, good. And we show each other. All right, I'm going to the Prime Theater. Okay, good. All right, recliner seats. Okay, perfect. Yep. And then we're looking at the map of available seats, and we're like, okay, I'll grab this one, you grab that one, and it's so like we're in a nuclear launch facility, and it's like, okay, turn the key, ready,
Crank.
go.
You got the 2 keys to turn exactly the same time. I'm trying to think of a good movie like that where that happens.
War Games is the one I'm thinking. Turn your key, sir.
Oh,
turn your key.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one. I always mix that up with what happened in the submarine in Crimson Tide.
Oh yeah, right.
Because in my head they had to do that too, but I don't remember. Yeah.
Icor says, why doesn't one of you just buy 2 tickets? Well, then if I bought 2 tickets, I'd get mine for free, but I'd have to pay for hers.
Right.
And we've both got A-list, so I mean, it's not really free. It's basically you pay a monthly fee and you can see up to 3 movies a week.
Right.
If I were to do that, I'd be like, okay, I get my ticket for free. Tina's next to me, and I have to pay for her seat. We don't want to do that. That defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah. Why have the membership if you're going to do that? Sure.
Exactly.
Well, but you got them, so you're locked in.
We're locked in. Oh man, it's getting great reviews. It's still at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes after all the critical reviews. So
yeah. I talked to Tom Merritt. He saw a preview a few days ago because he gets those the Fandango stuff with his wife, and he was raving about it, like just raving.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, he says he didn't even like horror movies normally, but he says this thing is so. There are moments of just pure scariness, pure freak out, but also just kind of a fun movie in a weird way.
Cool. Good.
Like
I love that. I love
movie.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So you'll have to tell me what you think. I don't know that I've got a free window this weekend for a movie. I haven't been able to go to a proper
you still
theater
haven't
movie.
even seen Captain Marvel.
No, Brian, I still haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp for that matter.
Well, I know, but
it was
at least Captain
serious
Marvel's
excuse.
still in theaters, and you need to see both of those before Infinity War, or you're not going to have any idea what's going on.
I know.
It's going to be like, wait a minute, who's the big blue guy, and why is he wearing Michael Jackson's glove? What's the deal here?
Right,
Why?
exactly. I'm with you, dude. I'm behind, and it sucks, and I hate it, and I need to do it, but I feel like I don't have any time. I have no time. I need more time. I got to start cutting something out.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to play 4 hours of video games on the stream. Oh, I'm out of time, Brian. I don't have any time.
Yeah, but that's a deal I got with Doghouse Systems. I promised to play. It's like a business thing. I just don't have I don't know when 2 hours goes, hey, look at me, I'm available. That rarely happens to me anymore.
I know. Well, you know what? Do it at night.
Right.
Go see an 11 o'clock showing, and instead of staying up late playing Outlast or whatever you're playing late at night these days.
Yeah. I beat that game. I'm done with it. Never have to look at that nightmare again.
Good deal.
Good Lord.
What's the current game? What's the new thing you're playing?
It's called Visage.
Oh, Visage. Okay.
Visage, yeah, or Visage.
Visage.
It's
Visage.
pretty creepy so far, but also a little janky. So the jank sometimes takes you out of the creep. But I think I sent you a clip of me freaking out because there was a doll.
Yeah, that was from that movie.
Yeah,
that is the best clip too.
Yeah,
it's like a freak out.
Scared me so bad because it's dark in there. Like what you see, you can kind of see it in the video because
which is even scarier, right? Because it's like you can make out kind of a shape, and you just happen to be in the right place when the lights came on, pointed right at.
Yeah, but my actual play screen is darker, so I couldn't even really make out much of a shape. I just knew there was something there.
Oh my god!
So when I flicked that lighter on, it was just like, oh, a little pea came out. Nice job. Anyway, well, that's great. You'll have to tell us all about it when you return.
Yes, I'll tell you all on. I'll tell you boys on Saturday morning when we do the film Zachary, and then I'll tell the rest of the world on Monday.
Very nice. I hear you got a Nintendo Power Glove, and I'm pissed.
How did you hear about this?
He emailed me about a whole different issue thing, and he just made this comment toward the end of the email that, oh, and by the way, I sent Brian a Nintendo Power Glove, like in just passing. I'm like, what?
How rad is this, right? I haven't put worn. Actually, let's wear it right now. This will be the first wearing of the Nintendo Power Glove. I mean, this cable, it's like super long cable. I can't use this with the little mini NES that came out.
No,
okay.
None of that stuff works. But by the way, that's a great thing about old consoles. Back in the day, the NES and probably first generation Genesis had really good cable length. That is not true anymore. Like those minis you buy, they're like 3 feet or something. These back in the day, that glove and other accessories would go for miles. It was awesome.
Check it out. I'm like Fred Savage.
Oh my gosh. You are like.
If I snap my fingers, does Kid Icarus die?
No, only half of him does. Wow. That's pretty awesome. Gosh,
It is
dang
really
it.
cool. Boop, beep, boop, 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 beep, beep, beep.
I saw that email and I just about cried.
You know what? You've gotten stuff, Scott.
Nothing as
Time
cool
for
as a
the-
power glove.
Time for the little people to get something.
Not as cool as a
The little-
power glove. What's the best thing I got in here? Let's see. I got a bag of granola over there.
Yeah. Bag of granola.
It's pretty good. Anyway, hey, well, look, people buy you cool, awesome things like the power glove, and people get me copies of terrible, scary video games just so they can hear me scream and watch my heart rate go up. So
Yeah, I think I
nice
had to
trade.
pay for my Let's Go Pikachu game for the Nintendo Switch. I think you got that just from a generous fan named Tanner, generous listener named Tanner.
yeah, that's true. Stuff happens.
Yeah, you get stuff.
Brian sent me this awesome. I can't see it in this angle. Here, look at this chat room. Let's see, how do you do it? That rubber, not rubber, that foam mask from He-Man back there on that skeleton.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's like way better than the crap plastic masks that we used to get as kids.
Yeah.
Remember those with the
Oh yeah. And the skeleton that it's on is also wearing a scarf that was given to me by Patrick Beja. So there's a little French in there. That's pretty cool. Anyway,
right.
well, that's all well and good. I've enjoyed our early show together today, but it's time for this.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
Hey, check it out. It's the news, and it's brought to you by...
For the last year, Cosmic Crit has been taking you on a sci-fi adventure through the worlds of the Starfinder RPG. And they're back with Season 2! Brand new characters, brand new enemies, brand new journeys starting from level 1. You can find out more and check out our first season at CosmicCrit.com on iTunes, Spotify, and everywhere podcasts are downloaded.
Cool. Hey, look at this.
You know what's cool about that name?
Yeah, what's that?
You hear Cosmic Crit, and
Yeah.
you know how to spell it. Well, you might try to do the 1C thing instead of the 2Cs thing.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Cosmic Crit. But,
Cosmic Crit, yeah.
Cosmic Crit. But still, that's way, you don't have to explain how to spell that.
I agree.
podcast.
I like that a lot. And I wish them the best. That sounds good. I may have to check it out. AT&T CEO was abruptly interrupted during a live interview by a robocall. It's pretty awesome.
Put down your weapon. Oh, no, not a Robocop, a robocall.
No, not a Robocop. What's your name, phone? Murphy. It says this at a economic club event in Washington, D.C. That's the District of Columbia, for those not in the know.
Oh, that DC. Okay.
Yeah.
Not
This happened...
not just the version of Washington that operates on direct current as opposed to alternating current.
Correct. Yeah, thank you for that clarification. This was yesterday. AT&T CEO Randall Stephenson, he's the dude what is in charge of all AT&T, was interrupted on stage by a robocall, pausing an interview in front of dozens of people and driving home that absolutely no one is safe from the spam epidemic, says this article.
Nice.
Over the past few months, regulators at the Federal Communications Commission, or the FCC, have been feeling the pressure from lawmakers and consumers who are urging them to put an end to the relentless onslaught of robocalls people receive every day. Last year, consumers received over 26.3 billion of these calls. Billion with a B.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the problem only appears to be getting worse. I'm getting a robocall too, Stephenson said during the Economic Club event, ultimately declining the call on his Apple Watch. Quote, it's literally a robocall, unquote, he said.
The calls are coming from inside the building.
So what I hope happens is something needs, I don't know what has to happen, but something probably should be done. It's too easy. Like right now, Brian, you and I could go online and rent a bank of robocall computers and pay very little money to have them spam to hundreds of thousands of people's phone numbers and also have that number route to some fake number. And it could be the message like, hi, this is Brian Everett from the morning stream, and I've got a weird tick, and it's called whatever. You could do whatever you want, it would just send it out.
Is your boner not big enough?
How's your boner? Is it big enough? So yeah, then people could get it. It's just too easy to do it. So
Yeah, it is, exactly.
some kid
and I got
Nick's
one
age
the
could
other
do
day
it.
that was the goofiest one. It was do you need urgent prayers right now? Let us know and we'll pray for you, or something like that. Press 1 to have one of our people deliver you an urgent prayer. Press 2 if you'd never like to be called again. Oh, how hard can I press 2 to make it really feel clear that I don't ever want you to call me again?
But then there's the bigger question is whether or not that pressing 2 even does anything.
Exactly. That press 2 does nothing.
No. If anything, it locks you in as you
answered
answered
he's
the
really
call.
A person.
He's a person. Keep him on the list. Exactly. Yeah. Hate it, dude. Exactly. Although I don't get that many. I'm happy to say I probably have only had, I don't know, maybe the entirety of my smartphone life, I've had maybe 10 of these.
Wow.
It hasn't been bad, but my wife gets them multiple times every day.
Oh, yeah.
Like a ton of them. And I told her, I said, it's probably because you picked up on some, isn't it? I think that's what does it. If you pick up on some, they're like, oh, real person.
It's like the unsubscribe button, right? It's
like,
oh, he pressed the unsubscribe button. We have a real address here, folks. Real address. Real email.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real, it's Johnson. We have a Johnson here.
I get probably 2 or 3 a week.
That's not too bad. But I haven't had one in, it's been a while. Remember that one I played on the show? That was one from sort of recent. But I haven't had any since then, I don't think.
Yeah, there's a lot of mortgage refinance. Now's the best time to refinance your home with an affordable mortgage from
Yeah, so I don't know what causes people to get more than others or whatever, but 2 or 3 a week is pretty high.
It is pretty high.
That would drive me nuts.
It's basically to the point now where I don't even, if it doesn't come up with somebody's name that's in my contact list as the caller ID, I'm not going to answer it.
Well, here's one from 2/14/19, so the 14th of last month. And
Valentine's Day.
This is a new one. Oh, this is that guy again that we played. Hold on, speaker.
Social Security Administration.
This guy.
The nature of this call is to inform.
But I never answered any of these.
This guy.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding.
Yes. This is Talking Moose to let you know that you have been
I'm
the subject of an Internal Revenue Service audit.
Oh.
We're sorry. The number you are trying to reach is no longer in service.
Oh, that's a shock.
Did you try to call the Talking Moose back?
Yeah, it didn't work.
You can't call the Talking Moose back.
That last time it worked, though, remember we talked to Rahid or whatever his name was, and he was telling me how they were about to check all my taxes or whatever?
Yes.
Anyway.
Hi, is this Internal Revenue Service?
Leave all my thes off.
That was called Talking Moose, right? In the thing that we had on our Macs in the 80s that did voice synthesis.
Was it called Talking Moose? I don't remember. Hold on. Talking Moose. Yeah, you're right. Talking Moose, animated talking utility for the old Apple Macintosh. It was created in 1986 by a Canadian programmer named Steve Halls.
Of course, Canadian.
Yeah, those damn Canadians. Here it is. I'll play a bit.
Press any
Stick
key,
your tongue in the disk drive just for fun.
Oh, wow.
If you eat chocolate mousse, I'll never speak to you again.
Well, the guy,
wow.
that's pretty an intense quality.
That is Siri's grandfather.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that. That's Siri's
I wish
grandfather.
I had a brain.
I wish I had a brain, he says.
I lost my youthful innocence.
Ooh. Okay, we're getting dark.
Smile if I turn you on.
Ew, geez,
Oh,
Louises.
man.
What's going on, Moose? Wow. All right, well.
Me too, Moose. Me too.
Different era, meet Moose. Catch up to the times. Get woke.
That's right. Exactly.
All right, well, anyway, that happened, and I hope that you guys all get less robocalls. Probably not going to happen, but good luck.
No, but you know what? It does help when something like that happens to someone in a position of power during a public thing like that. You feel like, all right, now he has to do something about it, or else he looks like he's just, complicit.
Yeah, it does. Yes. At the it's no one's blaming them. Like the way the phone system's set up is the problem.
But letting it happen and not doing something about it, that's basically, if he doesn't do anything about it and he's on record, he now can't say, oh, is robocalling, is that a problem? Is that something you guys, I've never had that happen to me. It's
I just don't know if AT&T can do anything. Like, what can they do? They don't control how.
There's got to be some sort of verification or
something. It's an overall phone architecture problem that has been in place since like phones, like regular phones. And so,
well, all right. So for example, there's a didn't get technical here, but there's like a spam tool for your website that you can install for like WordPress sites that has that adds hidden extra fields on a comment page that make bots think that they have to fill in those fields too. So right, they're like, oh, I will put get the best meds into the subject line, and I'll put Joe Medseller in the name, and then it's some extra fields. All right, I'll put some stuff in here. Meds, buy meds. Here's a link. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And those fields don't appear, and it's the fact that a bot sees those hidden fields and fills them out, whereas a real human person wouldn't see those fields and put stuff in there, so it immediately knows it's spam. There's got to be some equivalent on the phone side that says, oh, well, a real person dialing a phone, there'd be a pause between these numbers as they're dialing it, or it wouldn't be a straight doot 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 or something like that.
Right.
And there's got to be a way to identify.
Aren't there apps that do this, sorta ish? I think some apps
Something
do this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you never really dial your phone, right? You go into your contact list, press a number, and it calls that person. But
yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know. There's got to be ways to identify.
Well, once in a while, it just reminds me why I don't see my phone as a phone anymore. I mean, I'll use it because I have to for calls when I need to, but I don't. Yeah. It's a phone like second or third or fourth. Like I do a million other things with it that aren't phone related.
Right.
And
primarily, this is my Pokemon catching device.
Yeah, I was going to say
it's my porn video viewing device, and then it's my poker playing device, and then we get to phone.
Then you can take a phone call, right? I just have Do Not Disturb on a lot, so sometimes, and that's bad sometimes because if I get a text from, well, you're on my contact list in my favorites.
So I bypass your deal. Yep.
But I don't know how it works on Android, but if you have people on that list, you can still get them and nobody else, and that's worked pretty well for me.
It's great. That VIP feature. It's like, all right, I've got like 6 people in my life that I have labeled as VIPs, and they can bypass DND.
That's right.
You're a VIP, get past the DND.
DND, dynamite.
That's right.
Here's a good one for you, Brian. I got this just for you.
I know you did, yes.
Not really, but a study reveals a chemical in McDonald's French fries may be a cure for baldness.
Great. I've been rubbing these things on my head for years, and it's never seemed to help.
Well, it turns out you may need them in a slightly different form, but here's this new study.
Okay.
It's a new actual study. It reveals a chemical found in McDonald's French fries may be the cure for baldness. This is according to scientists in Japan who said the chemical is added to the fries in order to keep the cooking oil from frothing up. When they test the chemical on mice, the mice regrew hair.
I love the fact that they said, all right, we're putting this stuff in the cooking oil to keep it from bubbling over, going over the top of the fryer. Yeah. Hey, we should let's test this on mice.
See what they do when we put
Let's see if the mice bubble up. And
it does seem like an odd, usually when you're doing science stuff like this, you're like, oh, okay, A connects to B. Oh, and then what about C? This is like... Right. Here's A, and now let's put it on Q. Like, it doesn't make any sense how you got there to mice.
It sort of does, because they want to make sure that it's not poisonous or addicting or something like that. That, this new stuff that we're putting on the fries to keep them from frothing up actually, makes your eyes pop out of your head, and you go, like the ending of Total Recall.
Ronnie Cox is choking out on the surface of Mars.
Exactly, yes.
Love that. Scientists said that this is the first time they've mass-produced what they call hair follicle germs using this method. The next step would be to try it on human skin cells. McDonald's has not commented on the study at this time. Yeah, so McDonald's has nothing to do with this, really. But, Brian, so let's get to the nitty and the gritty here.
Sure.
They come to you and they go, yo, Brian Ibbett, we're with the National Institute of Hair people, and here's what we want to do.
Good old, the old NIHP.
And they say, you want to try just a couple of weeks just rubbing this goop on your head. Would you do it?
No, I don't. No, I am. This is my trademark now, man. I'm, I'm not going back to having hair. I don't care if it's.
What if they promised you a full, luxurious, normal ass man hair? You'd have your hair back.
Yeah, no, I don't need it back. This is.
All right.
This is me, Scott.
I like
this
that.
This is my truth, Scott.
I like
Boldness is my truth.
Hashtag blessed. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. Oh yeah. Yeah. Adding to the hashtag blessed. If you send me a tweet with "this is my truth" or telling you my truth or something like that, yeah, that's unfollow.
Yeah, sorry. Immediate unfollow. Block. Unfollow. Quit your.
You send me a photo and you're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Done.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Everybody, we got a new job today.
After my diatribe about that the other day on the show, of course, I get 4 or 5 people with hashtag blessed and sending me a little gif of Melissa McCarthy going,
yeah, let's do more of it. Let's get these going. Did she do that? When did she do that? Oscars or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
She definitely did it jokingly at some point.
Yeah. Can't ever do that seriously, right? That's always ironically, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, McDonald's French fries, better than you thought at things that you don't need it for.
Yeah, things that they shouldn't be good for. McDonald's fries. Oh, we've added yet another chemical to McDonald's fries.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, look what this one does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Things that make you go, ooh.
maybe we just don't need chemicals in our fries. I don't know.
I know. That's the big takeaway for me is you got stuff that grows hair in the French fries you're feeding me?
Right. Yes. What's to stop that from doing that on the inside, and all of a sudden I've got an afro choking out my gallbladder or something.
No kidding. You got an afro right at your little freaking heart sphincter. Just all
exactly, just wrapping around my lower aorta.
Yeah. Oh, I love the word aorta. Don't you?
Aorta. Yeah, I do too.
It's fun to say. Yeah. Aorta. That's good ASMR. Aorta.
What's plural of aorta? Is it aortae or is it aortas? If you have more than one aorta.
Well, you have
or is it just aorta?
Do you have more than one? Hold on.
You've got 2 ventricles and 2 aorta.
Plural for aorta. What is plural of aorta? From word hippo. Arteries. Oh no, I'm sorry. Aortas with an S. So its example would be rabbit.
Aorta I'm sorry. Yeah, it's atria is what I'm thinking. Yeah, aorta is the main artery in the human body.
Right.
I'm thinking 2, not ventricles. What's the other 2 thing? You've got 2 ventricles. You've got 4 chambers, right, in your heart?
The 4-chambered heart deal.
2 ventricles and 2. Why is this?
Why is that leaving my head too? I know what this is.
Yeah.
I used to do all this. I dissected a human heart for an art class.
A human one?
Yeah, we went to the university and they let us work on cadavers. It was amazing.
Okay, is it atria, ventricles, and atria? Okay,
is it atria?
All right, so
ventricles
2 atria, 2 ventricles. All right.
The atrium. Everyone has an atrium, so go drink coffee in it. But check this out.
The atrium.
This says here examples: rabbit aortas and pig coronary arteries were used in this study. So aortas versus aorta. So you were right.
Okay, so they said aortas. All right. Yeah. I really wanted it to be a fun plural.
I agree.
Aortae.
Here's the website telling us how to say it.
Aorta.
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 Aorta. Aorta.
Aorta.
Aorta.
I love this site. It has a great lady talking. Let's see how this sounds.
Penis.
Whoa! Whoa, easy there, buddy. Oh, jeez.
Penis.
I'm not going to say that word.
Yeah.
Get the guy voice. Get Talking Moose to do it.
Yeah, get Talking Moose back.
Lunch boxes.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh.
Lunch boxes.
Sounds kind of sexual when she says it.
How about this one?
Lunch bucket worker.
Lunch bucket worker.
What site is this?
It's wordhippo.com. I'm just clicking on here. Let's click on some randos.
Lunch and learn.
Lunch and learn. How about lunatics?
Lunatics.
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 Lunatics. How about this one? Hold on.
Demoniacs.
Oh, I like her. She's my favorite.
Demoniacs.
Demoniacs. Hello. How about this one?
Schizophrenics.
Oh, she's great. British lady's great. I like her.
Can we get her greatest hits? Like, is there a?
There's
can
not.
You say, I only want to hear pronunciations by this lady.
It doesn't let me.
By Salty Emily Blunt.
Let's see if she says headbangers.
Headbangers.
No, that's robot.
Oh, no.
How about oddities?
Oddities.
No. How about incongruousness?
Incongruousness.
Maybe. Okay, let's try this one.
Irreconcilability.
Shut up. You're a douche. Okay, how about this one?
Lack of similarity.
No, see, there's no, you can't filter by sexy lady.
I love this really random phrases.
No. Here's one.
Inharmoniousness.
There she is.
Inharmoniousness.
Hello.
Salty Emily Blunt would tell me this about inharmoniousness.
Yeah. Oxymoron.
No, you're an oxymoron. Or I'm killing it. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Here's a new story about a Chinese woman who narrowly escaped death after her homemade IV drip was full of fruit juice. Kids, don't do this. Don't do what this lady did. All right? Bad idea. Woman in central China, so keen on staying healthy that she injected the juice of 20 types of fruit and almost paid for it with her life.
It's like a V20.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I could have had a V20.
And died. The 51-year-old...
Maybe take the pulp out. Jeez.
That's your problem. You're clogging up the tubes. Let's see. Her name is Zhang from Zhejiang County in Zhenzhou, Hunan Province. Shenzhou. Oh, Shenzhou. I've been to Shenzhou.
Yeah, you've been to Shenzhou.
I have. Had developed an interest in unconventional health treatments, reported the Zhangjiang Morning Herald, if that is its real name. On a whim on February 22nd, while apparently in good health, she made a juice from 20 kinds of fruit and gave herself an intravenous infusion drip. Despite feeling itchy and rising temperature, she did nothing about it. I'm feeling itchy.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know what's not supposed to be in your veins? Fruit juice.
Yeah.
We don't need the Capri Sun.
Then her husband noticed how discomforted she was, found the infusion, and then took her directly to a county hospital. And it in turn sent her to the affiliated hospital at the university where she was admitted to intensive care.
Give me 20 cc's of purple stuff.
It did. Oh, this is bad. She now has a severe infection, damage to her liver, kidney, and heart, and was in danger of dying of multiple organ failures and sepsis. Doctors cleansed her blood using dialysis, injecting clotting agents, and gave her antibiotics. Her condition had improved significantly after 5 days, and she was transferred to the kidney unit.
Jeez.
I want to go to the kidney unit. It'll be a good time.
Are there any kids listening to this show who now are going to go to their parents and say, fruit juice will kill you, Mom? I just heard about this.
Maybe.
I'm feeling itchy and I'm getting a rising temperature from drinking that like crayon apple.
What a weird idea to have. Like, when are you sitting around?
I love the fact that it's on a whim while apparently in good health.
Yeah.
Things are really going well in my life. Hey, I wonder if I can ride on the underside of a car.
Yeah. Here's what I think this person might be, and I'm going to play it. Here you go.
Stupid person.
There you go. It's a stupid person.
It's too bad we didn't get the British lady for that one. Try harassment.
All right, let's see. We'll try harassment.
A really dumb person.
No. I didn't. Oh, I see what it did. Harassment. Here you go.
Harassment.
Now, geez, Nurse Ratchet. She's not nice.
Molestation.
Jeez, hold on.
Debasement.
No, the basement.
Baseness.
Okay.
Degradation.
No. I'm trying to find this.
Loss of self-respect.
She's not in here. How about...
Are you clicking on the Alex Jones word cloud?
Dissipatedness.
Damn it. Well, does this just do names? How about, can I do Scott and Brian? Whoops. Scott and Brian. I think it's generating it. Oh, weird.
Scott and Brian.
Oh, okay. So some are pre-recorded and some of it is like... Because if I just make this up and say... I think there is a monkey in... Whoops. Monkey.
There's a snake in my boot.
My toilet. All right, let's see what this does.
I think there is a monkey in my toilet.
All right, so I think that's just generating it on the fly. It must be.
You know what, though? I love the fact that there's inflection in there.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just, I think there is a monkey in my toilet. It is like, I think there is a monkey in my toilet.
Yeah. Okay, let's try a couple more British. Here we go.
Convenience.
No.
Nope.
This one?
Agreeableness.
No.
Sociability.
Neighborlessness.
Neighborliness.
Oh, neighborliness.
Conviviality.
I'm trying to find British sounds.
Loveliness.
Oh, there she is.
My neighborliness.
I found her.
Good humor.
Good humor.
Good humor.
Hello, I appreciate your good humor. Now, if I add the good humor, is part of a good life. I've just added it to the string.
See if right. Okay, I like this.
See what it says.
Good humor is part of a good life.
I think that's just being generated on the fly. Oh,
Yeah.
well. What are you gonna do?
Oh, that's some interesting experimentation there, Scott.
I agree.
And now we have our official replacement for Victoria Beckham when she doesn't join the Spice Girls on their next tour.
Oh yeah, just have her up there going, displeasure.
Displeasure. Good humor.
What do I want? What I really, really want? Good humor. That's awesome. All right.
Oh, love it.
Final story. Printer ink. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
The printers are usually cheap, and then it costs more money to buy ink than it did the printer. Well, I guess there's some free stuff on the road if you want to go get it. Printer ink, they had a giant spill, and it closed all the interstate lanes where it spilled. A truck carrying 40,000 pounds. Wouldn't that be... That's the wrong measurement. Shouldn't it be gallons or...
You would think so, right? Because of where this is? Yeah.
I don't know. Well, anyway, they say 40,000 pounds of printer ink overturned on an Atlanta interstate, closing all lanes on an outer loop for hours.
Yeah, okay. This isn't overseas, so it's going to be 40,000 pounds.
No,
there should be...
I just meant, you wouldn't say pounds even here, though.
No,
You'd
I'd
say gallons.
I'd say
or
20 tons.
Or, yeah, I guess tons would work.
Yeah.
But why not gallons since it's a liquid? That's my... it does say 5,500 gallons, which is 20,820 liters of ink.
Okay.
That's a lot of effing ink.
That is a lot of effing ink.
Effing ink. What will the Office Max do when their ink doesn't arrive? Anyway, news outlets report a car in front of the truck around 2 a.m. Wednesday caused the truck to lose control and crash. Atlanta Police Traffic Report, their Twitter account, said the spill stained Interstate 285 just south of Interstate 20. All lanes were closed while they had to use sand and dirt to soak up the ink. This is how the world ends, by the way. Southbound lanes had reopened at 6 a.m., but aerial video indicated the spill had left a mark. I got to see this. Hold on.
Okay, all right.
Nobody was injured. That's good. Is there a photo? Oh, come on. No? There's no photo.
Aw.
Atlanta.
Because I want to know what color and everything. Like, was it magenta?
Well, let's see.
Oh, there we go. Wow. Pops and Recline just put a photo up of it.
All right, let's take a look.
Holy cow.
Copy link address. Oh, gosh.
Look at all that.
Ugh, that is a big stain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here, chat, we can, for those who aren't clicking, I can put it in here for you.
Ink low.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Mess.
That's just gnarly. Big old stain right in the middle of town.
Yeah. It's also funny, like, seeing all the different tracks of the things that have driven through that.
Yeah, totally. Oh, yeah, like all the little...
Yeah.
It's almost like skid marks you see at Rex or whatever, but it's just everywhere. And I wonder if it smells like freaking printer ink. Eee.
Oh, sure, it'd have to.
I wonder how much money that's worth. If you take... Okay, we're just going to do a little math here.
Oh, geez, because that is like the expensive... Cost per ounce stuff, that is the most expensive thing there is, isn't it?
Yeah. Printer ink cost per ounce. Okay, so according to the internet... Oh, this is interesting. Okay, you just said this, so we'll look at it. 10 most expensive inks or liquids in the world. Oh, that is nuts. All right, here's number 10. You ready? This is a fun list.
Okay, yep, I'm ready.
Human blood. That's number 10.
Okay.
15.
The top 10 most expensive. I love it. This is great.
$1,500 per gallon is the price of human blood currently.
Well, how come I can't sell it then?
Yeah, I know.
Craigslist. Let me get on Craigslist real quick.
See what they've got on there. How about number 9? Gamma hydroxybutyric acid. I don't know what that is, but it's a $2,500 per gallon. Next up, we have black printer ink at number 8, $2,700 per gallon. So if that's 5,500 gallons, see, this is where the math comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, math. 5,500 times.
Oh, math.
Where's my times? There it is. times what did I say? $2,700. Oh my gosh, that's $1.4 million that was spilled of ink. That's crazy. By the way, we'll do the whole list. Number 7, mercury. $3,400 per gallon of mercury. Insulin. Oh, geez. Insulin for your diabetes.
Yeah. This is because of that Shkreli, Martin Shkreli, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to blame any high price I see on that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
$9,400 per gallon for that.
Wow.
Number 5 is a little surprising. Channel number 5, or Chanel number 5, which is also at number 5.
Oh, Channel 5. Channel 5,
Channel
super
5.
expensive.
It's an expensive liquid.
It's just in.
That one is $26,000 per gallon. That's crazy. All right, here's one you'll never guess. Number 4, horseshoe crab blood. $60,000 per gallon.
They must use that for something else, right? Like they must use that for for genetics or something like that. Horseshoe crab blood.
Says it's harvested in high quantities today to test for a wide range of medical products that are not contaminated. For example, it says here horseshoe blood is blue in color and is unique, as it is has a unique response to bacterial toxins. Was discovered 50 years ago. So apparently, as a testing agent, it's just outrageously expensive because there's not a lot of it. So
yeah, wow.
Here's a good one.
I hear Charlie Sheen was big into that stuff. The horseshoe crab blood.
Yeah, well, you never knew what he was going to do. Lysergic acid diethylithamide, or LSD. I don't know saying it right, but LSD, $123,000 per gallon. Wow. King Cobra venom.
I'd like a gallon of LSD, please.
I don't know. I don't think you can buy it anywhere in the gallon, but sure.
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Can I get the economy size? Yeah.
Let's see. The King Cobra venom, $153,000 per gallon. Ooh, just imagine a gallon of snake venom. Ugh.
Right.
Gross. And then finally,
it's for the antidote.
Now, why do we need this? Scorpion venom is number 1. $39 million per gallon. Scorpions use their venom as a defense, blah, 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 but only 25 species of scorpion have venom that would be lethal to humans. The protein found in scorpion venom, however, can be used to treat pain in humans who suffer from multiple sclerosis, inflammatory bowel disease, and rheumatoid arthritis. So it's used in medications. $39 million per gallon, though?
Wow.
Like, what? Also, that's the big jump from number 2.
Million. Yeah, that is crazy. So again, it's got to be used for making antidote and wow.
Yeah, just medical stuff. Same with the snake. The snake venom is used for painkillers. That's supposedly 20 times more potent than morphine. Ooh.
How much is snake oil?
It says here snake oil is worth precisely $0.
Damn it!
I know. I got taken in once or twice with some snake oil as well. Speaking of getting taken in by some snake oil, we're bringing Wendy in after this, and she's going to help you guys with some problems. We did your Ask Wendy on Twitter business again today, and we're going to do some of these quick questions right after the break. That break being a song, and Brian will now introduce it.
Yes, big thanks to New Music for sending me this one. Mark J. Glidden, singer-songwriter that is from North London. Now he's based in St. Albans, and this is a brand new album that he's got coming out tomorrow. Brand new tomorrow comes out. It's called Caesar. This is the title track from that album. Here is Mark J. I'm sorry, I said Glidden. Mark J. Gidden, Gidden.
It's an interesting name. All right, here it is. We'll play it, and we'll be right back.
Malox Plus gives you 1, relief of excess acid and heartburn, and 2, relief of painful gas.
That's not the right one. Let me do that again. Here, it's this one.
If you have cats in your life like I do, there's probably one who's a real clown.
It tastes great naturally.
That clown.
I am the Führer of the beach. This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back. Let's get Wendy in here.
Yeah.
Wendy with an I.
She's gonna spoil alert. She's totally gonna blow something that we did on the show this week that is not gonna go out to the listeners of America's Next Top Podcast for a while.
Are we ready? You mean you want her to or don't want her to?
I don't want her to.
Oh, now we're about to find out if she can handle. Oh, hello, hi, Wendy, hi. How's things? How are you?
How's things? Things are
How's
good.
tricks?
Yeah, how's tricks? Tricks are great. They're for kids. Hey, you no more snow? We're done? You got no more snow, or are you still
No more snow. It's just slowly melting because, it's like 50 and the sun's out and it just takes its time, which is good because they've had it's record snow this year. They've never had this much snow,
Yeah.
And it melts a little too fast and we've had lots of houses flooding and stuff happening. So it's better that it's slow.
Yeah, slow is better. It's true here too, I guess. We're still melting and we're in the 50s today. It's raining actually right now, but I don't know why we do the weather every time I bring you on, but there it is.
Yeah, well, hello, let's do the weather.
Yeah,
because it feels a lot more. You feel a lot more local than when we talk weather. It doesn't feel like you're so far away.
Yeah, you're not on another
planet. Well, it also
planet
is like the universal language of something we can all agree is a thing happening because we're both in the same place and the sun's out and it's not a whole lot of lying to each other about it. You know what I mean?
Right. I can very quickly verify what it's like in Minnesota right now.
We've got a cyclone here.
It's the worst. You can't believe it. If you were here, you would go, whoa, but it's too bad. You're 9 hours away from us. But not now. All right. Well, Wendy's here. Here's her theme.
400% with cocaine. Woot woot.
All right, so there's that, and she's here with us. She is as always, the disclaimer, my sister, and she's also a professional therapist who helps people with real problems all the time. That is her profession. She comes on the show and donates some time every Thursday since the inception of this show to help you with your questions. And today, we got a lot of them. Apparently, people seem to be digging this hashtag question thing.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
so I have to slow myself down. I feel like it's a contest, and I have to get through like 20. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Ready to go.
I do the same thing. We do that when we do a similar thing on Fridays, and it's easy to want to just rip through them. But some of them need time, so who knows? Especially in your case. But let's start with one we got today from we'll just call them JS, who said this. Wendy, I took in a 16-year-old niece dealing with depression due to sexual, physical, and emotional abuse and neglect. We got them in therapy and on antidepressants, but they still self-harm and cut at times. We locked up all the blades. Any tips of anything we can do to help them? Their mom and stepdad are both in jail, and we've slowly been building the trust back up. Hardest thing has been making change from fun aunt and uncle to being authority figures. Any help or tips you could give would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. This one hits close.
Wow.
Kudos to you guys for taking her end to help her out when everything else in her life is such garbage.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Sometimes you don't. You don't see that even coming. It's like if this happened now, and it could, I suppose. But if Kim and I were suddenly like, oh, we got a niece that's about to explode, we need to get her out of there and get her here, and do all of that, it would be a huge undertaking on everyone's part, because not only are you inheriting all the baggage that comes with that, you have to put yourself back in authoritarian parent mode, and that sounds really, really hard. So how do you help this person we're calling JS?
Well, it sounds like they've got a handle on the stuff that they can, services they can get for the kid. Is it kid or kids? Kid.
It sounded like kid, but it's now sounding like multiple. Well, it says 16-year-old niece, but then later it says we've got them in therapy. They will still self-harm. It feels like there's multiple, but
right. Okay.
Anyway.
Either way, it sounds like they've got at least the right sort of formula going, and you can only do so much. Right? You get them good care, and my advice would be sort of really look into how the couple who's taken him in, the aunt and uncle, how they can take care of themselves during this. It's a bit of the, ask a firefighter or an ER nurse or something what happens to their brain when an emergency happens, right? And they click into get it done mode, and emotions tend to find
Go by the wayside.
a hole.
Yeah.
They go away, and you
Yeah.
know, they kind of do that thing. And I think we all have that ability a little bit when there's emergency and alarm, and so some of that probably has occurred. And like they're saying, they're switching from fun aunt and uncle and like we're the nice guys to we have to tell you what to do. In essence, to bring safety and security to those kids, they have to know what rules are and where the lines are, and that it means they will be safe because there are lines.
Yeah.
So if you take a kid who's been neglected, which is, you know, arguably all forms of abuse are awful, but neglect is a really insidious one because it, you know, if someone's hitting you, they care enough to even be in the same room with you. That sounds terrible, but it's more than someone who just doesn't even see you.
Right.
And
often
anyway,
aren't they?
none of it's good.
Aren't they often? They're often combined with multiple forms of it, right? Like you don't. It's rare that you'll
Absolutely.
find somebody with just one. It's somebody who's abandoned in every other way until someone's drunk and punches you, and that's the only attention you get.
Exactly. And or sexually abuses you. So you're just an object, you're just in the way, you are, you know, and that devaluing of somebody as a valuable person is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
So, you know, educate yourself. Also, like I'm thinking you just need regular trips to a massage spa or some form of self-care that is planned and important. It's, you know, all caretakers of any variety have to put themselves on the to-do list or they can't do what they need to do. And you can run on adrenaline for a while. I mean, and various people have longer abilities to do that for longer periods of time. But so really like safeguard your marriage and safeguard your own sanity and your own physical health, and, you know, find ways. Maybe it's a support group of other parents with a similar situation so that, you know, or your own help with someone who works with blending a difficult kind of family so that you know what authoritative, like what battles to battle and what battles not to battle.
Right.
Other people have done this before you. Many people have done this before you. So, you know, is there a way to glean that wisdom at the same time, make sure you're taking care of your own psyches, because this is really tough.
Yeah, really, really hard. But also, like Brian says,
amazing.
It's an admirable, noble thing to do. That would be just, that's really hard. Because it's not like you. It's one thing when you raise your own kids and you just have your own normal raising issues, right? Like there's just all the challenges of life. It's another thing to inherit those challenges from a much more challenging source and then have to make sense of it all. And that just sounds really hard.
Yeah. So take care of yourself.
Yes. Next question. I'll call this person A. All right. Can you please diagnose Scott's existential dread issue? It goes on to say, I've also had this since I was a kid, just imagining horrible things happening, not depressed, just fantastic or fatalistic. All right, here.
Don't use my real name. Just call me K. Johnson.
Yeah, K. Johnson. Just call me Kim. All right.
Schmonson.
So here's the reason. Here's the reason this came up earlier in this week. I had let fly on the show that I had this weird notion the other day that I couldn't shake out of my head, and it was just this sudden realization that there are people everywhere at that moment that I was thinking about it, where a cell in their body had divided, split funny, grown too fast, something got weird, and a cancer cell has birthed. And I just couldn't get out of my head. It was just like this weird idea. And they're not going to know. They'll be at the gym. They're going to go to work. They're going to just have this great day. They're never going to know that this one little cell did a funky thing in their lung or in their liver or wherever. And then it's going to be a few weeks until maybe they have a reason to go get looked at. But in case, if they don't, they're going to find out that it's stage 4 because they didn't know, because, a lot of times these cancers don't do anything until it's too late. And I couldn't get that out of my head, that everybody's going to have, not everybody, but somebody somewhere right now, I'm even thinking about it right now, somebody right now, maybe even listening to us or something, has a cancer cell that has gone berserkoid, and now they're going to go, it's going to be a long, hard battle. I don't know why I thought of it, but it's a little morbid, obviously, and strange. It wasn't depressing me or making me stressed out or anything like that. It just was this thought I couldn't shake. And so that's what she or he is talking about.
Okay, real quick. When did it leave your consciousness?
I thought about it on, what was it, Saturday or Sunday? And I don't know, probably for like a half an hour, just sort of dwelled on the idea. And then kind of didn't talk about it again, and then was reminded on Monday about it, and then I told the story. So it wasn't like a thing that's been, constantly in my head. Some people say it's because I electrocuted myself accidentally on Friday. It's a long story. But I did do that. I touched a live wire with my toe in the office during a thing, or that was Monday night, I guess. Yeah, it's a long story. I'm an idiot. Anyway, lesson learned. It reminded me when Dad would shock himself all the time with like repairing stuff and everything. But anyway, I shocked my toe. It freaked me out. No big deal. Moving on. But then people are like, Scott only thought of that cancer thing since you got electrocuted. Just something changed, which I don't think is the case. I think it's just I've always had this kind of morbid fascination with that kind of thing, or like just this idea that we're all just happily going along. Or, I'll think about, this is awful, but when like a horrible tragedy happens, the first thing in my head is I start dwelling on the suddenness that it was for those who were victims. Like that shooting in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. All I could think about was, and I didn't watch the video and never will, I don't want to see that live video that he took while he did that. But
oh, God, no. Yeah.
I just can't do it. But all I can think about is, you hear the story of the little old man at the door who said, "Welcome, brother," because he just thought he was just coming in, to pray like everybody else, and then just immediately mowed this poor old man down. And all I could think about was 72 years. Every day, you get up, you do your thing, you go to bed, you get up, you do your thing, you live, you have children, they have children, you have grandchildren, you live all this time. And at 71, one day, out of nowhere, for no good reason at all, done. That's it. And I think about that a lot. So my brain doesn't go immediately to, wow, we got to do something, and why, what horrible thing happened, and who did this, and why would they be radicalized in this way? And, that's all part of the conversation, but my first thought I just focus on like, man, that poor old man. Like what a raw deal. You have your whole life, you live it all, and you get there at the last day. And this isn't even, I could go into how my brain works when they talk about the kids that were killed there and everybody in between. Like age doesn't have a lot to do with it, but just a nice guy doing a voluntary thing that he does, a certain time of day every day as a thing to do, and then just out. It just seems so, ugh. I don't know. I get these existential, almost philosophical loops in my head. It's not even a crisis. It's just, it loops in my head, and I think about them in broader terms than just the raw reality of it. I think about I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain it. But that's what I was trying to explain the other day in regard to this cancer thought. And so clearly this listener heard that and went, oh, well, I feel that way. They also say the point of this was they say, I've had this since I was a kid, just imagining horrible things happening. They're talking about themselves. So here's somebody else who does that stuff. What do you say to them? You don't have to diagnose me. Let's focus on A.
That got dark real quick. Okay, so anxiety.
Welcome to TMS this week.
Yeah, welcome to TMS.
Yeah. Dark. So one thing to think about when it comes to anxiety is I've yet to meet anyone who struggles with anxious thoughts and sort of runaway thought trains who is not intelligent or creative, or you have to have certain things that go on in your brain to even imagine that stuff. So it's kind of the curse of creativity, right? You can create, or maybe it's a feeling. You take a group of 10 people, we could all feel different things about the same event. Your brain just tends to have a I don't know, like it just glitches a little bit.
Yeah.
Or it goes down a certain route that wouldn't normally, like 10 other people wouldn't, Yeah.
I mean, I can totally relate to that. You do. Like, when, I'm not explaining this very well, but the same thing happened with the shooting in Connecticut, the little kids.
Yeah.
When that happened, all I could think about was just these kids got up, they had a big bowl of Cheerios, they were, Like there's something about that suddenness that the word isn't fascinates me.
Normal,
It's just so. I don't know what else. Okay, well, let's use a less drastic or less dark example. Like, if you're walking through a mall, here we go. All right, so you're walking through a mall, and everything's normal. You're walking past the stores you like, and you're, hey, let's stop, get a hot dog on a stick, and let's do all the mall things you do. And then right in the middle of the mall, let's say 7,000-pound horse just drops from the ceiling and lands on the floor. It's suddenly normal. Oh my gosh, that is so not normal. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I can't help but go, as soon as I get to the not normal, I go down the path of trying to understand and make sense of it, sort of.
Right, and there's a reason for that, because first of all, is it normal to get into a speeding metal contraption and be on the same road with a bunch of idiots? No. That's not normal.
No.
That's like a made-up thing from less than 100 years ago. But we've adjusted to the lack of normality, and we've eliminated the sort of real danger of it so that we can go about our lives. As humans, we're really good at adapting to our environments, and anything out of the ordinary, a weird smell, a color we've never seen before. You think of this sort of hunter-gatherer period of time, like a stranger who comes in who looks different. All of that stuff is alarm bells. Alarm bells is to protect us, to keep us from eating poison, to being murdered by the enemy, etc. Right? So you're in the mall. First of all, how weird is a mall? There's a bunch of artificially created, smells good, white, particular lighting. It's just the weirdest place if you really think about it.
It really is.
And everyone in their stores pretending they're happy to see you. It's a bizarre Truman Show. And yet you've adjusted to that. Now a horse drops through the ceiling. That's the best thing that's happened in a mall in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just different. So now attention. Okay. So when someone is not anxious, I always compare this to like frozen yogurt. What is your base flavor? And Scott, your base flavor is probably anxious.
Oh, I
right?
see.
It's not chocolate.
I see what you're saying.
It's just, it's a little bit anxious. So then you add any kind of particular thing. And then if you're creative and anxious, then your brain can create a whole bunch of things to be freaked out by.
Yeah.
Now, but take these shootings or these sudden events that are just, it's so hard to process. Everyone struggles to process how things like this could happen.
Right.
Who in the world would do this, or how could you harm a child, et cetera. And so that, I don't even know what to do with this is normal, but your brains have a particular way to handle that. And so let's just take the case of the 72-year-old. You have this, it goes down this track of normal. And now this sudden thing happens.
Yeah.
How do I prevent? And that's what we want. We want to prevent the abnormal from coming in and hurting us. And so you're just looking for, it's kind of an ancient response of like, how do we protect ourselves from that?
Right.
How can we never have that happen again? How can, and the vulnerability of that person, because it's you, it's me, it's all of us. That's why it is so shocking, right?
Yeah. Plus there's
so I just think it's a way to handle it.
There's also that sense of like, when 9/11 happened, there was this story about how Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one of those flights, and he didn't make the flight. He missed it and slept in or something. I think it was him. I may be confusing who the famous person is, but
that seems right that it was Seth MacFarlane. I think I've heard that too.
Does that sound right? I think that's right. But it just played with me for weeks when I heard that, because in my head I'm thinking one simple decision or indiscretion or whatever it was that made you miss your flight. It was so binary. Like you could have made it or not. And that blows my mind. It's hard for me to suss that out. I'll bet you that Seth MacFarlane has sussed that out better than I have, because he seems to be, that was the luck of the draw that day, and that's enough for him or whoever. For me, it's like you were right there, and it would have just been that would have been it if you'd have been on time, and because you weren't, it wasn't it for you, but it was it for a bunch of other people who were on time. Like, just an odd.
Well, and you take not everyone like walks away from that with a new resolve to live their best life. A lot of folks can sort of be debilitated by survival guilt. Why am I by a 6-inch margin alive, and the person next to me was dead.
Right.
And it's really traumatizing, of course, and psychologically can mess you up. And it's kind of finding meaning in that somehow when it has no meaning. I mean, I think that's as a species, we want a story. We're storytellers. We crave that because it brings meaning. So we all went to go see Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so fun, and my kids loved it, and like we had a great time. And we had this discussion on the way home about sort of DC and the sort of darkness of some stuff they've done versus the happy we're gonna win in the end, it's sort of Avenger mojo, and how especially Americans, we love that. Why do we love that so much? And,
do you want to correct her on the DC versus Marvel?
Oh, did I get it backwards? The other way around.
Yeah, the Marvel versus Marvel thing, is that what you're talking about?
No. I got the dark versus. Is that what you're talking about, Brian?
Yeah, or are you saying DC has more of a darker tone and Marvel's more happy we're gonna get the bad guy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Do I have it backwards?
Okay. No, you have it right. You absolutely have it right. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Gotcha.
I was like, maybe. Listen, I am talking full on out of school here. So.
Hey, you're doing great. This is
Stay in your lane, Johnson. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please
carry
on.
am mansplaining to you guys right now is what I'm doing.
Sweet.
Anyway, yeah, no, like that concept of like, why do we like the clear cut black and white? Someone's good, someone's not, bad guy. Why I love the Lord of the Rings, because I know which side is evil. There's something about having that clarity feels good in us. That's why we like our stories the way we like them. I think the French are a different category. They tend to keep it dark.
Yeah, but even if when we, I think we're in a entertainment wise, I think we're actually kind of rising out of a pattern right now. But the pattern right now is dark and endings you don't expect and things not going great for your protagonist. People like that when they like it because it subverts the norm. But at the end of the day, I think they all want a pattern they can recognize and that makes sense to them. I saw a recent short film about it's part of this compilation thing that's on Netflix, but the short film's about this dude in space, and him and his crew are putting themselves in cryogenic stasis while they go through this wormhole, and they're supposed to go to a certain place, another space station that's far away, but they expect everything to go right. Something goes wacky, it goes off course, and ends up in a part of space nobody's been to. They wake up, they try to make sense of it, everything seems normal except they're in the wrong place, and then to find out that the whole time their minds are being controlled by an entity that is making them think everything's okay, but he demands to see what's real, and so this creature lifts the illusion, and he's in the worst, most hellish, strangest visually place you've ever seen. Just twisted, strange. He's emaciated down to the bone. Everything just doesn't make sense. It's all visually just shocking, horrifying. And in the end, he blocks that out and then starts over in the imaginary world again to exist there. And it's an interesting, poignant little kind of short little animated thing. But my point is, that's people want what they can anchor to. It's like, I know this is familiar, so I'm cool here. The minute you take away all of that and say, no, what about this alternate reality that's really happening or whatever, then people don't know what to do with it. And I think there's just a desire in all of us to not want to have everything upturned and turned into something we don't recognize.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's dangerous. It's unpredictable. And why I think we like to watch it and be surprised. I mean, it's incredibly addicting. It's incredibly, like, you can't turn away. And that's the same, see a car accident, you rubberneck, right? You're looking to see a thing. It's to make sense of it. It's almost a check-in, like I'm okay, or that could be me. I mean, it creates existential dread for sure.
It is such a base animal instinct. Like, you drive by the accident because you're also probably saying to yourself, whatever I see that they did, I want to make sure I don't do that so that I don't end up like that. Like, an animal seeing another hurt animal says that, whatever trap they stepped in, I want to do something else. So it's
right. And also, like, do you ever do this with the timing? Like, if I had left my house 5 minutes earlier, that would be me. Because and that's that's when I validate my being late for everything. I'm like, see, it's good. It's good.
I had the most instant version of that. I was behind this lady coming down the street, a few blocks from my house, a busy street onto another busy street. And the light turned, it was a green arrow, and she just sat there for a few seconds. And I'm like, come on, what is the deal? Why aren't you going? And I think probably about to hit the horn. And she starts to pull forward, stops, and then a cart just like races, goes right through the red light, going the other way. And I'm thinking to myself, I would have been totally T-boned by that car if she weren't there in front of me, because I would have just gone through that green arrow and I would have gotten T-boned by that car. And I was behind her a little bit longer, and then I realized, oh, there's a lady that lives 2 doors down from me. I didn't want to go and say, hey, thanks for being so slow. You saved my life.
Yeah.
Thanks for being irritatingly slow.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, that was instant. I mean, it felt like, oh my God, okay, that was the most instant version of that thing.
Of that. Yeah, exactly. And like, it's again, it sort of goes down to this self-protection thing. But then I'm going to throw a total weird wrench in here.
Okay, go for it.
Of course you are.
Because maybe, Scott, your little cancer experiment thought thingy are you, this is kind of hippy dippy, but are you just tuning into the global consciousness? Is that what that is?
I don't know what that is. Here's the funny thing about it. It's actually practically and factually true.
Right.
And I think that's what hit me, is that it's not me going wild with my imagination. It's literally true that somebody somewhere right now has a metastasized cell in their body and they don't know it. And it's not just one, it's many. And it's happening every day. And that's just a part of our biology. And I know that it's always happened and always been there, but it's just never occurred to me to look at it from that angle of like, it's the same way if I said, and I've, this has been a thought before in my mind, but it's like, people who die in a totally just freak accident today, in a car accident somewhere on a freeway in this country or anywhere else, they didn't know. Right? Like he's 38, he's going to his new job. It's been there for 6 months. He's loving it. He's in the car. He's listening to his favorite song from the 90s.
Feel like this is like the verses to an Alanis Morissette song, but keep going.
Yeah, we're getting there. Isn't it ironic? But yeah, like it's not that different from that. It seems insidious and hideous and all that because I'm talking about cancer, but I'm not actually stating anything wild or outrageous. It's just true.
No, so that's the point. Like, okay, so you do have a theme to this stuff, which is people don't know what's happening. Like you're having a sense of something and the unknown of it is part of why it's so terrifying that we all go along and just the pretend normal of real, the reality we've all agreed is reality. And this thing is happening behind the scenes. I think that's not original by any shot. I think that, but the fact that you tap into it in a very particular moment that probably is out of nowhere and then it lingers with you for a while. I'm sure you could dig through your brain and find lots of times that's occurred.
Oh yeah.
I think it happens more naturally. I mean, I don't know. Like what, how do you explain? All right, this is one. So I think I've talked about this before, but just all these strange dream groups that used to exist, and maybe they still do.
Dream groups?
People got together and talked about their dreams. And it was big in like the late 90s or something, I think, at the most part. In fact, in Sweden, I'd met some lady. She's like, yeah, I've been running a dream group for 30 years. I'm like, what? Anyway, as people get together, they talk about their dreams, they write them down. Someone's like, it's like a group. And so someone has recorded some of their dreams and they work through them. And it's kind of like a strange
here I found a site, dreamdigging.net, for example.
Yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of people had recorded dreams of planes crashing into buildings before 9/11. Okay. And before 9/11, that concept of a plane being stolen and slamming into a building, I think for the most part, most of us had never thought of before. That is not, sort of a known thought. Now, of course, we all know that can happen because we've seen it happen, right? Yeah. And I think that's sometimes true of humans. Before we understood what cancer was, that it was these cells that were mutating in a body, I don't know if many people would have had the thought you've had. I think a lot of people have had the thought you've had. Yeah. But it's sort of like I don't know. I feel like the earth is one throbbing conscious and we're all just tapping into it. How about that?
It's possible. See,
Just kidding. I don't know what I think, but I do think there's something interesting that's kind of unexplainable because we're still pretty human, you know?
Yeah, I think that's true. I don't know why these things get in my head, but I think the bottom line is for people who do that, because I think there's some people, I know plenty of people who just move on from it. But once in a while they experience it. Like Kim went through this a bunch with, and she's never like this. She doesn't think this way. She doesn't get all anxious about stuff she can't control like I do. But she got, when the baby was being born, when Taylor's baby was coming, she couldn't get it out of her head, and she couldn't stop dreaming about, and she couldn't stop thinking about the idea of Izzy, the sweetest pit bull you've ever met, suddenly losing its mind and hurting the baby. It just ate at her and ate at her and ate at her. Now she doesn't deal with it now because the truth is that dog is fiercely protective of the baby and loves it and lays next to it and licks his little ear, and he's just the sweetest dog with this baby. No sign of anything, right? So like all those fears are laid to rest. So now she doesn't think about it. But it's like that's like a normal human thing to do, to go, ooh, we should be careful of this thing that could be bad if something went wrong. So my brain's going to fixate on it a little bit until we're sure everything's okay. That seems normal. When I'm sitting around going, cancer cells are popping up everywhere right now and no one even knows. And guess what? Just now a baby was born and an old guy died. I start thinking in these weird ways.
We've moved from Alanis Morissette to live.
Right. Right. I mean, I won't say they're not normal. They're just not. How do I put it? They're not serving a purpose. Kim served a purpose. It's grandma bear protection. Yeah, exactly. It's like an instinct to protect and to
But yours
guard.
is kind of that, right? Like you're going to be a little bit more aware. You might say, oh, I've got this weird lump in my side. I think I'm going to have it checked out. Where if you didn't have your little existential moment, your hyper awareness, maybe paranoia, but let's call it hyper awareness.
When you can step in, you can step in any time and say, I don't think he's paranoid. But go ahead, Brian. Continue.
I don't hear anything from
I'm going to finish. I want to listen.
All right. I'm going to let you finish.
But it might make you more inclined to go to the doctor and have something checked out than if you didn't have that little freak out moment of those thoughts. You might be like, little lump, it's probably nothing, and move on with your day, and then it turns out to be something.
Yeah.
So I think that it's the same kind of protection. It's just not as immediate as the Kim protecting the baby from Izzy.
Yeah.
And it's it's like the undercurrent. Again, it's your frozen yogurt flavor base. It's just you're going to see more than others see, and your brain will make up things that others don't. Their brains don't make up, and it's kind of exhausting, right? Like it's I don't know
exhausting. Yes.
Anyone wants this, but okay, let's just think evolutionarily. Why is this advantageous to have this? We'll call it a gift. We won't call it paranoia. We'll call it a gift.
Can we say my base flavor is literally lemon, though? I mean, I know what the I know we're saying it's I
think it's clearly Rocky Road.
Yeah, I see chocolate in my head, but it's
paranoia ripple.
I love lemon frozen yogurt. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
I do too.
Anyway, it's my
so
base flavor.
Okay, so take that though. What are the advantages to having this? If you could control it, what's the advantage to having
superpowers?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, in some ways I can control it. It's because it's not a panicky thing I'm thinking about. It's just like literally, this goes a little bit against what Brian said, but it's literally like, oh, weird. Think about it. Everyone's getting cancer. Like right now they're getting cancer. Anyway, where's that sleeve of Oreos? Like I'm not.
Yeah, you're like high is what you're saying.
Yeah, a little bit. It is like I'm high, but I don't take drugs. I'm not a drug guy. So it's like I have these moments of like, whoa, do you ever think about how big your hands are? I do that without the pot.
Right.
Maybe that's it.
I wonder what would happen with you on pot. Would you just feel calm? I think
know.
that would happen.
I'm going to Vegas and
find out. I was going to say, find out 1 month from today. In Las Vegas,
I'm going to Vegas. Maybe I'll get
a
legal edible while I'm there. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'll try that out.
It's all legal, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, okay. So then there's another facet to this real quick is that I have a very similar, I don't have a great imagination, but I have a similar thing It doesn't necessarily go to negative things. Again, my brain's very backwards compared to yours. But like, for example, I call it magical thinking, and it always works in my favor. So that's not great, maybe either, but it sure is less stressful. So like when I was a kid, and you'll remember this basement, Scott. Remember when we lived on Sugarloaf?
Yeah, Sugarloaf Lane.
Such a dumb name for a street.
Yep. Sugarloaf.
Downstairs, you know how you'd go down the stairs and then you'd have to take like a full 180 to go the other way at the bottom of the stairs towards my bedroom and the laundry room and stuff.
Yep.
I remember when I was pretty young, I guess 9 or 10 would be about the age. I remember thinking, okay, there's a guy down there with a butcher knife.
Yeah.
And he's going to kill me.
Jeez.
But if I sing, it'll make him happy.
And he won't kill you with his butcher knife. Wow.
Wow.
That's cool.
So pretty magical. Also, it's like containing the dread of the unknown or the dark or the surprise of life or whatever. So my containment had like, yeah, you're there, you're awful, and you're terrifying. Instead of not going down there, which obviously is an option, I will go, but I will use my magical thinking to believe he's a very big fan of me humming or singing.
Right.
Like the weird sequel to Babadook.
Yeah.
So then in the end, I never got murdered. So it worked.
Yeah. I remember that I told you my story about how Dad told me to just, when I was having bad dreams, because I used to have these bad dreams when I was little, I was probably 8. And he said, if you just imagine the room growing vines and leaves all over the walls and just create your own little jungle in here, that when the creature gets here, he won't be mad at you anymore. He'll soften up or whatever. And I remember being able to literally, with my brain, half out of sleep, half in sleep, I was able to watch my room flower into this glorious vine-covered, beautiful canopy-like, where the wild things are looking bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And down the hall came this giant creature again, like he had for the last 2 weeks, and he busted open the door, and that's normally when I'd wake up screaming. And this time he looked around, saw the room, and started crying, and and he became Pete, by the way, my imaginary friend Pete, not your Pete, but Pete. And Pete became that bird and like pal and all those other things. I had this imaginary friend for a long time, but it all came out of that moment where my dad was like, just reconstruct your zone and the creature will not want to eat you anymore.
See, and I reconstructed the variable of, singing or music is what will soften the heart of a murderous, crazy person in my basement.
Yeah.
Do
you think
that notice
work?
we're both talking about the same age, which is about 8 or 9. And there's something cool about that age, which is that is when the brain starts to transition into more abstract thinking. So it goes from very black and white, things are a little more simple, and then, sort of the nuances of abstract thinking come online. And so there are some really interesting things for people that happen around that age. There's a lot of interesting stuff with, I'll meet adults, and we kind of, when we get back into their childhood, we can find things around that age that they took as facts of life. Like, mom didn't pick me up from school on time. She was 15 minutes late. I'm 8 years old. That means I'm not loved. And like a whole story will build around that. And it kind of sits at the core of who they are for a long time. So it's always an interesting stage to sort of parse apart, like, what did you learn around then when you're still concrete? And then, or as opposed to your mom not picking up when you're 13 and it's more abstract, you can be annoyed and bugged, but it's not at its core, something's missing, if that makes sense. So it's, those of you with 8 and 9-year-olds, be really careful.
If you ever get kidnapped, I want you to scream. Or not scream, sing. I want you to sing.
Sing.
Sing. Yeah, not scream. I want you to sit there and just start going, I believe I can fly. Well, no, maybe not.
No, maybe not that song.
Maybe not R. Kelly or whatever, but something, something, but I also, it's funny, I look back on that.
The Michael Jackson. Oh, that's not good either.
Yeah. But that 8 through 10 age range, it's the best, man. There's no better time to be alive. I always tell, like, I teach a class full of 10-year-olds on the weekends, and I love these kids, and they're all 8 or 9 and 10. And they have no idea, but it's the best time of your life. Like, everything gets harder after. Everything before it is just confusing. And you're just at this perfect place where everything you're into is innocent and rad.
Yeah.
10 is great.
And girls in particular at that age have the most confidence.
Yeah.
And it is all downhill after that.
Yeah. It's like as soon as they launch them into the junior high world, oh my gosh, what a nightmare we put our. I mean, I understand they need it. I understand this is part of growing up. I'm not saying to shield them from it, but it bums me out because your average 10-year-old is just so stoked, man. They're just like, yeah, comic books and movies and video games, and my mom's cool, and I like my dad too, and it's just a cool time to be alive.
It is. So if we summarize this, A and Scott, just be 10. That's the answer.
All right, I'll be 10. You got it. I kind of done that in a lot of ways, so it's fine.
You have.
On a daily basis.
All right, that's all the time we have today for your questions. We'll take more next week, of course, on another episode of Therapy Thursday. I got an email from your friend, your van friend.
Oh, good.
She was very nice. Yeah, she was super sweet. And thanks. She wanted me to share her thanks to everybody who signed up for that thing, so she could get some data out of there. And she's very happy with it. I don't exactly even know what you gleaned from it, but she was very stoked and very grateful and seemed very nice. She seemed as nice as Wendy had said she was.
She is the coolest.
Yeah.
Go minivan.com. Go sign up. Right, your rating of what is it? Your car or a road trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially spring break, road trip somewhere.
Yeah. People are going to be looking at, what vehicle should I get for all my road trips?
Yep. For my hot
I think I'll get a Kia Soul because Brian says it's roomy.
Yeah, roomy.
Nothing wrong with roomy. All right, Wendy, what's your name? Have a fantastic day, and my love to the kids and the husband, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.
Very cool.
We don't see them till August, I think.
Oh, so no chance of her making it out to Vegas for.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I don't know about that for sure. I should have asked her again before she left, but they were talking about it, but I just never heard. So maybe they are. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Tell her there'll be crab legs.
That would be awesome.
There'll be crab legs.
Let's see. How do you say crab legs? Hold on. I'm gonna look this up on Go Hippo.
Crab legs.
Crab legs.
Oh, crab legs.
How about
crab mentality?
Crab mentality. How about
one's a question, the other's an answer.
How about this one?
Crab eating macaque.
Ooh, crab eating macaque.
Crab eating what?
Macaque.
Macaque. Okay.
I don't know what that is.
It's a monkey.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Crab eating macaque.
Okay. Well, it's what?
Either that or it's describing a crab that's eating a macaque.
How about this one?
Crab eating raccoon.
I don't know why I like this so much, but I like it.
It's kind of fun.
Here's a fun one. Here you go.
Crab bucket syndrome.
Crab bucket syndrome.
Crab bucket syndrome.
I don't know what that is, but
it's a wicked pissa, though.
It's a wicked pissa. All right, we're done. Thank you all for being here. Fantastic shows this week. We really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon for an episode of TMS BM. Also, I noticed Cleo jumped into the chat room today. That's fantastic.
Yeah, caused quite a bit of hubbub in there.
Yeah.
So good to see her. And she's announced she's coming to Vegas.
What? Cleo
is coming to Vegas.
That's awesome. Does that mean we have to have chips to lick or something weird like that?
It's funny you say that. Zoe Brings Bacon is also bringing chips, and I'm sure that we'll be able to. I'm sorry, crisps. Hey, she's bringing crisps.
Yeah, otherwise she's bringing French fries. If you bring French fries, make them McDonald's and rub them on Brian's head when he's not looking.
Please don't.
Please do that. That'd be awesome.
I can't imagine that's going to be good for my pores.
Probably not. All right, well, that's going to do it today. Thanks, everybody, for being here. frogpants.com/TMS is our website. Our support link is over at Patreon, patreon.com/TMS. It's also linked on the main site. You can find it wherever you're looking for us, and we really appreciate your support there. So thank you for it, and continue to give it if you so desire to give back to the show that gives so much to you every month. Brian?
Yes, sir.
Song time.
Jason wrote in, said, "Hi, Brian and Scott. Could you please play the song Crimson and Clover, covered by Denmark and Winter? I don't have any specific reason to request this song other than it's a good cover. I also have a little request for Scott, too. Could Scott play the Watch the Thrones sound bumper that he and Jury used to play on their spoiler show? I love that sound bumper, and it doesn't get played nearly enough. Thanks." Signed, Jason, a.k.a. Free Rangers, in the chat.
Oh, my gosh. Do I even have that still? Hold on. Watch the Thrones. It's an MP3. I don't know if it's... Oh, maybe. Let's see. Nope, that's music.
Nope, that's Andrew Allen.
How's this one? No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Other option was... Oh, no, that's an old clip.
Just look for Thrones instead of Watch. Or
I'm looking for Thrones. Let's see, just maybe Jury. Sometimes if I put Jury's name in a thing, I find it. And then we say... Oh, there we go. Okay, how about this one?
No.
No. No, hold on.
You son of a bitch! Oh yeah.
I can't find it. You know what? I'll have to track that one down. I don't know what happened to it. It's not. I don't think I would have deleted it, but it's not on any of my drives, and I don't know why. It's probably a different name. It's probably some screwy name, and I just can't remember using it or something.
Coming soon on TMS. We'll play that.
Yeah.
No, this is really cool. It's a great cover, and I didn't even know this existed. I found the whole album that it came from, which is called Love Reimagined. Crimson and Clover, originally done by Tommy James and the Shondells. If you go back through the Coverville archives, you'll actually find an interview I did with Tommy James where he talks about this song. He had a demo of it that he was doing an interview with a radio station. He accidentally left the demo behind, and then he's getting back in his car and he turns on the radio, and the DJ is announcing this new song that he just got from Tommy James that he plays, and it wasn't ready for airplay, but yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'll play this," and it was really, really funny. So if you go listen, there's a lot more stories. So go check out Tommy James on Coverville. Denmark and Winter and their cover from the album Love Reimagined from 2017. Here is Crimson and Clover.
Oh man, I like that ending.
That's how you do it. Crimson and Clover over. And come on, you remember that?
Yeah, I totally do.
Yeah.
I tried to forget it, but now I know it again.
Yeah, now it'll be in your head forever.
Thank you for that. We'll see you guys tomorrow for PM, 3:30 p.m. tomorrow, and the instance in the morning and a bunch of other stuff this weekend. So check it out. We'll see you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
There you go. There you go.
Is that Bo? Sound like Bo.
That was Bo. Yeah, he's very...